Good day, everyone. This is Jenny's Fashion Channel. Thanks to all my amazing fans and subscribers. This channel is all about leveling up on your fashion designing skill. And today, I'm going to teach you how to cut this beautiful pinafore gown. So if it is what we are all about, you are definitely at the right place. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, now will be a very good time for you to smash on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I will draw a vertical line here because the edge of my paper is not straight. Then the next thing is to get my neck curve, and I'm going for a V shape, okay? Then I'm going to take 3 inches for my neck width and 6 inches for my neck depth. I will mark and I'm going to connect like so. Then I'm going to take my shoulder measurement, divide by 2. I will mark it. Then from the shoulder point, I'm going to go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I will mark it and connect it to the neck width like so. Then I'm going to add half an inch joining allowance on the shoulder. I will mark and I'm going to connect like so. Then I will take my vertical measurement. I will come down by 10 inches for my bust line and come down by 17 inches for my waistline. And I'm going to add half an inch for joining allowance. I will mark and draw the lines. Then I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2, and it will give me 3.5 inches, okay? Then I'm going to add half an inch to it. It will give me 4 inches. Then I will add another half an inch for joining. It will give me 4.5 inches. I will mark it. Then on the waistline, I'm going to remove 1 inch from what I got on the bust point, okay? That's 4.5 inches minus 1 inch. It will give me 3.5 inches. I will mark it on the waistline and mark the same thing on the joining allowance line like so. Then on my shoulder line, I'm going to remove 1 inch from it, okay? Then I will mark it and connect my markings like so. So guys, this was it for the pinafore front part of the gown. I will then go ahead and cut. So follow me closely. Let's cut. So guys, this was it, okay? If my pattern paper was on fold, okay, this will come out full, okay, the way it should be. We now move over to the back panel. The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. And I will draw a vertical line here because the edge of my paper is not straight. Then the next thing is to get my neck curve, and I'm going for 3 inches for my neck width and 2 inches for my neck depth. I will mark and I will connect like so. Then I will take my shoulder measurement, divide by 2. I will mark it and I will come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I will mark it and I'm going to connect it to the neck width like so. Then I will add half an inch joining allowance on the shoulder. I will mark and I'm going to connect like so. Then the next thing is to get my vertical measurement. I'm going to come down by 10 inches for my bust line and come down by 17 inches for my waistline. Then I will add half an inch for joining. I will mark and I'm going to draw the lines. Then the next thing is to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2 plus 1 inch. I'm going to mark it on the bust line and mark the same thing on the waistline and also joining allowance line, okay? I don't want the back part to have the same shape with the front part, okay? I want it to be a bit covered on the waist part of the back part, okay? Then on the shoulder line, I'm going to remove 1 inch, just the same way we did on the front part of the dress. I will mark and I'm going to connect my markings like so. So guys, that's it. I will now go ahead and cut. So guys, that's it for the back panel. I'll go ahead and remove the bulginess on the waist area, okay? So I'm going to go in from those points by half an inch. I will mark and I'm going to connect back like so. Then I will cut. I am not going to put zipper on the back side of the dress, okay? My zipper will be by the side of the skirt. That's where I'm going to place my zipper, okay? This back part supposed to be 2 pieces. So we are going to join the 2 pieces with 1/2 inch, okay? We now move over to the skirt part of the dress. The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I'm going to draw a vertical line here because the edge of my paper is not straight. Then the next thing is to get my vertical measurement. So I'm going to come down by 8.5 inches for my hip line, okay? Taking 1.5 inches for the band, okay? Because if you look at this dress well, you can see that it has band, okay? So I'm going to mark that 8.5 inches for my hip line, and I will come down by 22 inches for the full skirt length, okay? Because the full gown length I am working with is 39, and already I've used 17 inches for the half cut. So what I have left is 22 inches. So I'm going to use 22 inches for the full skirt length, okay? Then I will add 1.5 inches for hemming allowance. I will mark and draw the lines. Then the next thing is to get where the dart will fall, okay? So I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2, okay? I'm going to mark it. Then for me to get where the dart will stop, I'm going to come down by 4.5 inches from the waistline. I will mark it and I'm going to connect like so. Then I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch and go out by 1/2 inch to form the dart. Then I'm going to connect like so. Then I will take my horizontal measurement on the waistline. I'm going to take my waist measurement, divide by 4. I'm going to replace this dart intake here, plus 1.5 inches for joining allowance. Then I will mark it. Then for the hip line, the hip measurement I am working with is 40. So I'm going to divide it by 2. It will give me 20 inches. That's 20 inches for the front part and 20 inches for the back part. But I'm not going to allocate it that way because human body is bigger behind, okay, because of the belt, okay? So I'm going to remove 1 inch from the front part and allocate it to the back part, okay? So 20 minus 1 inch, it will give me 19 inches. So I'm going to work with 19 inches. If I get to the back part, I'm going to take that 1 inch from the front part to the back part, okay? That's 20 plus 1 inch. I'm going to work with 21 inch for the back part. Are we on the same page? So 19 inches being divided by 2 will give us 9.5 inches, okay? Then I will add 1.5 inches for joining allowance. I will mark it. And I will mark the same thing on the full skirt length and also hemming allowance line like so. Then I will connect my markings. On the full skirt length, I'm going to go in by 1.5 inches to give it that pencil effect. You can go in by 2 inches. You can go in by 1 inch. If the pencil or half pencil you want it, I will mark it and I'm going to connect it to the hip line like so. So guys, this is it for the skirt part or the front part, okay? I will now go ahead and cut. So follow me closely. Let's cut. I almost forgot to add 1/2 inch joining allowance on the waistline. I will add it and I'm going to connect like so and I will continue cutting. So guys, that's it. Then for the split, I'm going to go in from this center point here by 4 inches. I will mark it. Then for me to get where the split will stop, I will go up by 6 inches, though this purely depends on you. You can do below that, you can do beyond that. I will mark and I'm going to connect like so. Then I will cut. So guys, that's it. You can see how pretty it looks already. We now move over to the back part of the skirt. The first thing is to draw a line as my baseline. Then I will draw a vertical line here because the edge of my paper is not straight. Then the next thing is to get my vertical measurement. So I will come down by 8.5 inches for my hip line, taking 1.5 inches off for the band, okay? Then I will come down by 22 inches for the full skirt length, and I'm going to add 1.5 inches for the hemming allowance. I will mark and I'm going to draw the lines. Then the next thing is to get my dart. So I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. I will mark it. For me to get where the dart will stop, I'm going to come down by 5.5 inches from the waistline. I'm going to mark it and I'm going to connect like so. Then from this point, I'm going to go in by half an inch and go out by half an inch to form a dart. Then I'm going to connect like so. Then from this my hip point, I'm going to go up by half an inch, okay, to give my butt a curve effect. But if the difference between your waistline is beyond 10 inches, you go up by 1 inch. That's if your waist measurement is like 32 and your hip measurement is 45, okay? That's the difference between your waist measurement and hip measurement is now 13 inches. You go up by 1 inch away on the same page. I will mark and I'm going to connect to the waistline like so. Then from this hip point, I'm going to go down by 5 inches. I will mark it and I'm going to connect to the hip point like so. Then I will go ahead and take my horizontal measurement on the waistline. I'm going to take my waist measurement, divide by 4. I'm going to replace this 1 inch that intake here plus 1.5 inches for joining allowance. I will mark it. Then for the hip line, okay, you know that we took 1 inch from the front hip line, okay? We were supposed to work with 20 inches for the front part. That's 20 divided by 2 will not give us 10. But we'll now remove 1 inch from the front hip line. So that 1 inch we remove from the front part, we are going to allocate it to the back part, okay? So I have 20 plus 1 inch, it will give me 21 inches, okay? So I'm going to divide it by 2, it will give me 10.5 inches. Plus 1.5 inches for joining allowance. I will start taking my measurement from that half an inch I went out with. Then I will mark it. And I'm going to mark the same thing on the full skirt length and also hemming allowance line like so. Then I will connect my markings. On the full skirt length, I'm going to go in by 1.5 inches to give it that pencil effect. I will mark and I'm going to connect to the hip line like so. Then from this waist point, I'm going to go in by half an inch. This is to remove any form of bulginess on the waist area. I will mark and I'm going to connect to the hip line like so. So guys, this is it. My zipper is going to be by the side, okay? So guys, you can see how pretty it looks already. I will now go ahead and cut. Please always make sure that you fold in your hemming allowance, okay, before cutting, so you are not going to short fabric there. I will now go ahead and cut. I almost forgot to add half an inch joining allowance on the waistline. I'll go ahead and add it and I will continue my cutting. If I'm transferring this on the fabric, I'm going to add half an inch joining allowance on those parts, okay? Because I want the back part to have joining. But if you don't want your own to have joining, that's fine. But know that the butt allocation will not apply. Then for the band, I will take my waist measurement, okay? And I have 9.5 inches there, excluding my dart, okay? Because I'm not going to add the dart. So I'm going to use it to cut out the band, okay? So 9.5 inches for the front part and 9.5 inches for the back part. So all together, I have 19 inches, okay? I'm going to draw a line here as my baseline and also draw a line here to serve as a guide. This part will be on fold. Then for the length of the band, okay, I'm using 1.5 inches. But I'm going to add 1 inch to it, okay, because I'm going to use half an inch to join the upper part and half an inch to join the down part. I will mark and I'm going to connect like so. And I will cut it out. So guys, this is it. It is that simple. This is how it's going to be joined, okay? You can see how perfect it came out. Then for the bow that you can see on the split part of the skirt, okay, I'm using 10 inches for the weight and 10 inches for the length, okay. So I'm going to get the midpoint of it, then I'm going to pleat it, okay, equally. It is that simple. So guys, that's it, and this is all I have for you for today. If you find this tutorial helpful, please subscribe, comment, like and share. See you in my next video. Bye.